What I want to work on in today's episode, chat, is I would like to work on a little bit of embers. So between episodes, I was looking at some of the items and some of the things that we need to progress on in the pack, right? If, for example, we go ahead and look at something like the energy condenser, right? If we want to get into Project E, we would need to get ourselves mostly we need the Philosopher's Stone. The rest of this stuff isn't particularly hard to get. The alchemical chest we've already made. The 64k ME storage components are difficult to craft, but we can automate it and they're not too bad. We've got all the resources required. The same is true for the crystalline ingots. It's a big recipe, but it's nothing that we can't handle. Osmium ingots, lapis, pure studded quartz crystals, and then a lot of diamonds in the form of diamond lattices. All of that stuff is fairly easy for us to get. The difficult bit for us to get is the red matter, because the red matter requires Eternalis fuel, which requires the Philosopher's Stone, which is another difficult recipe. So this is really the recipe that we need to focus on trying to complete before we can move into any kind of Project E stuff. And to do this, we have to get into quite a few mods. One of the mods is Abyssalcraft. We have to have a bunch of Lorem Ipsum to complete this. We need to get further into Mystical Agriculture so we can set up the Supremium Essence. We need to get into Abyssalcraft again with the Oblivion Catalyst. We need to get into Astral Sorcery with the Resonating Crystal, more Mystical Agriculture with the Supremium Coal, and then the Ender Star as well in the middle there. And before I think we can get into a lot of that stuff, we need to go through Embers, because we need to go through Embers to get to the Twilight Forest, and the Twilight Forest leads us into things like Lordcraft. And then Lordcraft, I believe, leads us on into some of the other mods in the pack. And so, chat, what I would like to work on in today's stream is trying to work our way through Embers. Now, Embers is a pretty big mod, all things considered, and thankfully, from like a time perspective, we don't have to go through all of Embers to get to what we need today. The only thing I believe that we need today is, let me check the quest book real quick because I've forgotten the name of the item. To get to the Twilight Forest, we need to make ourselves a glimmer crystal. That is the plan for today's stream, to try and get to the point where we can make a glimmer crystal, which requires the exchange tablet with 2 gunpowder, 2 ember shards, and 1 nether quartz, and then 64 ash, I think it is, if memory serves me right. So hopefully this shouldn't be too hard for us to do. I have gone ahead and set up a new platform right at the bottom of the base, all the way down here at Y level 5, which is where you need to be if you're going to try and get started with Embers. But first things first, we'll head all the way back up to the top. Let's see if we've got what it takes to make ourselves, I believe, the Ember bar. Now, I'm no expert when it comes to Embers. I've only played with the mod once or twice, but I think I've got a fairly good understanding of what we need to do to get started in this mod. And so we do need to get ourselves a lead plate, which I'm hoping we can just craft in some form or fashion. Oh no, actually the crushing table makes a lot of sense. That's how we've made all of our plates up until this point. Do we still have the crushing table? We do. We should really find a decent home for this. We don't really have one at this moment in time. I believe we use the Magneticraft hammer, right? Yes, that is correct. Okay, and then we might as well go ahead and make a couple of lead plates here just so we got more ready for the future. So that's a bunch of lead plates, and then now we can go ahead and make ourselves the ember bore. Actually, we can go ahead and make ourselves a mechanical core. We are going to need 2 of these, actually, and so I will go ahead and make a second one real quick here. Not too difficult to make whatsoever, and then that should be everything we need to make an ember bore as well. And so essentially, chat, we also need some Kammonite brick stairs. These are made from 6 Kammonite brick blocks, which are made from Kammonite brick, which you make by smelting Kammonite blend, which is made from clay and sand, which we should be able to do fairly easily. We still don't have a production of sand set up. We are making clay actively, but our only source of sand right now, I think, is going down to the I forget the name of them real quick, to the Material Stoneworks factories and pulling the sand out, which I will do real quick just to make sure that we don't run out of sand in today's stream. We go and dump that back into the system like so, and then quickly smelt up some of this Kammonite. And so once we've got quite a bit of this, we should be able to fairly easily throw together some of these Kammonite stairs like so, and then make ourselves the ember bar. Nice. So the way that the ember ball works is it runs off coal, and it is going to produce us the ember shards and also the ember crystals by mining them from the void. So if we go ahead and let me grab 2 chests, which we don't have, but we can make fairly easily. Like so. I say like so. Do we have chests? Do we have chests auto-crafted? I really thought we did. We should use the recipe that is all logs, like that, make a couple of chests. We only need 2 for now, but that's fine. And then we could, I believe, use any kind of item transfer pipe that we wanted to, but whilst we're playing with embers, I feel like we might as well go ahead and use the ember pipes, which are these guys here. They are both item pipes and fluid pipes from embers. We'll go with the item pipes. It's 2 lead and 1 lead plate, like so. And then we also need an item extractor if we're going to use the ember pipes, which are made, again, fairly easily. It does require a Cammonite plate, which is made by smelting 2 Cammonite blend crafted together into a raw Cammonite plate. I have just smelted all of my Cammonite up, and so let me quickly go ahead and craft up some more real quick. Again, not particularly difficult, like so. And then those are eggs, not Cammonite, Isaac. Craft those up, and that should be fine. Nice. All right, throw that in there, and we get some Cammonite plates. Awesome. So once we've got those, chat, we can go ahead and craft up an item extractor. I am going to make 2 of these. I think 2 is what we need. And so essentially, it's a fairly easy setup. All we got to do is we got to go right down to about Y level 5. I think anywhere between like 0 and 6 might work. And all we need to do is throw down the ember ball like so. And then it's got a pretty cool like little multi-block. Look at this, and this will actually move in just a second here. And the way that this works is that we need to pump both into and out of this ember ball here. Now, I haven't actually tested it, and it might be possible. Let me test something real quick here, chat. Like I said, this is not something I've tested, but I think that we don't need this second mechanical core. I see people using it a lot, but I do want to test if it's actually needed, because I believe what we have to do here is both pump coal into and pull coal and pull ember shards out of that central block. And the reason why people use the mechanical core is because the mechanical core allows you to kind of extend the number of interfaces that's accessible to the ball. But I think if we were to use item conduits, even though I've just made those item pipes, I think the item conduit might be able to both pull in and push out simultaneously. Someone in chat did also point out we do need levers. That is correct. I'll go make some more of those in just a second here. But real quick, if I was to do this and this, and I was to set this to insert on green and extract on brown, and then here we insert on green, and here we extract on brown. If we put coal in here, that should extract. Oh no, we want to extract on green. Sorry, my bad. Extract on green and insert on brown. Is that right? Yeah, so we're going to extract here, insert here. We're going to extract here, insert here. So if I put coal in here, I was hoping if we set that to always active, that's going to pull the coal out of there and put it into here. And then if we set this to always active as well, that should extract the ember and put it into here. So I think this is a much cleaner way of doing it. There are other ways that you can do it using the pipes from Embers Rekindled if you don't have, for example, Ender.io installed. But this does seem a little easier, although I'm just waiting to see if it does actually work. We should get some shards in here any second now. That is indeed working. We did get 1 ender shard there. So the other way that you can do this, by the way, and I will switch this up just to show you how it works with Embers Rekindled, is you can use the mechanical core here to kind of extend the number of interfaces, because most pipes, unlike the item conduits, can't insert and extract from within the same pipe. And so if you don't have Ender.io installed, what you can do is, using item pipes and item extractors, is you can extract from a chest like this and then insert into the mechanical bore, and you can extract from, sorry, the core, not the bore. The core is part of the bore, I guess, so, and then extract from the core over into another chest. Now, to get these to work, you do need levers, as somebody did point out in the Twitch chat. So let me quickly head all the way back up to the top here. We should really look at getting some kind of wireless crafting terminal at some point in the near future, just to make our lives a little easier and not have to come back up to the top every single time we want to craft something. But if we head back down real quick to Ember Ball, which is right at the bottom there, what we should be able to do is put a lever on this item extractor and tick it. That's going to pull any coal that is in here out of there and pump it around into the core. And then this one here, if we put another lever like so, that's going to pull any ember shards that are in the bore out and around and into that chest. And I believe this should work in exactly the same way. Yeah, you can see we're getting those ember shards already as that previous setup worked. So the item conduits are a little easier, but if you want to do it with embers, this is how you do it with the item extractor and the item pipes. We do have a bit of a particle effect going on there. I'm not quite sure if that's an issue or not. Let me quickly go and grab some more coal real quick. Ideally, eventually, we would probably set up maybe an export bus and an import bus to actually automatically pump the coal into the bore and automatically pull the ember shards back out and into our system. But for the time being, this should work out just fine. Now, depending on which chunk you're in, also it does depend on how many ember shards you're going to get. I didn't do any scouting ahead of time to see if this chunk was particularly good in terms of the number of shards we're going to get. I think you can get shards in any chunk, although don't quote me on that. But I don't actually think we're going to need that many ember shards in order to get what we need to get done today. And so unless we need more shards in the future, I don't know if it's necessarily worth us trying to find a better chunk for shards. But this seems to be working, which is great. So we can take these shards here, and over time, we will get more of those, which is great. I am going to go and quickly actually put a couple of stacks of coal in. How much coal do we have in here? Let's see, coal. We got 9,000 coal. So let me take a couple of stacks of coal just to keep this full up. And so hopefully, later on into this stream, when we come back, there should be just like a nice amount of ember shards ready and waiting for us in that chest so that we can move on with some more embers rekindled and try and get to the item that we need, which I keep forgetting the name of. It is the glimmer crystal. You know what? Real quick, glimmer crystal. I'm going to put this, I'm going to press A to bookmark it over here because I'm going to keep forgetting the name of that item if I don't bookmark it real quick. So we'll throw it there. Another thing that I want to work on in today's stream is trying to get what we need to get into Lordcraft. So let me see here real quick. If we want to get into Lordcraft, I believe that we need, let's have a look. We do it to the Twilight Forest, and the Twilight Forest, I believe, is where we get these simple crystals, right? These are needed to do quite a bit of the stuff in Lordcraft. And to get those, we need to go to the Twilight Forest. For the Twilight Forest, we need the Glimmer Crystal. Now, there is also another dimension that we can go to. Oh, that's what I want to work on, of course. Okay, I wanted to work on my armor, right? So a little while ago, like way back in the first stream that we did on Project Ozone, we unlocked, is it not called the Forge? What is the, if I type in armor real quick here, or maybe chest plate. What is it that we need to make our chest plates? We need a workbench, of course. So way back at the start of the series, we made the workbench to make armor. And since then, we haven't really used it because we've just been using armor out of our mob spawner. But I would like to work a little bit on trying to get some better armor. And because we've got so many resources right now, I really don't think it's going to be too much of an issue for us. Now, let's see here. If we look in the quest book real quick, we'll see the whole like quest tree of armor that we need to make. And it is quite the tree. There are a bunch of different armor pieces that are required in this pack. Like, and you've got to work through every single one of them to get down to the very end, to get to that draconic armor right at the bottom there. And you can see we only ever made the first pieces of armor. We only ever made the leather armor at the start here. And so it goes from leather to coal to copper to tin, electrum, silver, aluminium, void crystal, constantan gold, chain, nickel, lead, osmium, iron, Enori crystal, black quartz, and then thorium, I believe, is the first ore that we actually don't have, or the first material that we actually don't have. And this is what I do want to work on today, because I believe that we can get thorium ore or thorium ingots from the Landia dimension, if I'm not mistaken. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, Landia, this is all new to me, that we can use the Landia portal to open a portal to Landia, which is a second dimension that we can go to, and in that dimension, hopefully, they will have the ore we need to make that armor, and then progress on from there. But once we've got that, moving on again, there's quite a lot of armor pieces that we can make that don't require us to get any kind of special ingots. Oh, I can't press the back button on that quest. Oh, there we go. Okay, caught it for a little bit of a pause there. That's fine. You'll see once we get past the thorium armor, lapis, bronze, tungsten, redstone, palace, which is just lapis in front of the atomic reconstructor, restonia, invar, all this kind of stuff, and maybe boron might be the next one that we have issue with. But quite a few of those after thorium are fairly easy for us to get. So I don't think it's impossible that we get to maybe like invar armor today. I don't necessarily know either if these are in order of goodness, if these go from worst to best or not, because I do feel like some of these armor pieces are not quite as good as some of the lower ones. Like osmium armor is pretty good, but I might be incorrect. They might go in order. I'm not quite sure. But anyway, real quick, let us see if we have what it takes to make this armor here. So it looks like we don't have our leather armor still, but that's fine. We've got 4,000 leather, presumably from our mob farm downstairs. And so we should be able to fairly easily here whip up a full set of leather armor, and then unlike at the very start of the series, we should also have what it takes to fairly easily upgrade that right away into some coal armor, given that we've got 9,000 coal here. And so let's just really quickly do something like, I believe it's this, maybe it's this. No, okay, let me check the recipe real quick. It's blocks of coal. Ah, of course, that's what made it a little bit too expensive for us to do right at the start. Okay, that's fine. Actually, we already have blocks of coal available because our coal is, of course, stored in our compacting drawers. And so again, doing this should not be too difficult, albeit a little tedious. All right, what else do we need here? So, by the way, to make this portal here, the Landia portal, we do need 2 Landium ingot. And this took me a little while to find, but you actually get it from landium ore, which is found in the nether. And so in the interest of saving a little bit of time here, I did go to the nether between episodes, and I did make a waypoint. And so hopefully here, real quick, I don't have that much armor, but we should be fine. We got creative flight. Do we also actually have our... We don't. Where is my dislocator? There it is. That's going to make getting back just a little bit quicker. I did put a waypoint down. I did find a little bit of this ore, and so hopefully getting it shouldn't be too difficult. Landia ore. So I did mark this down. Again, it's a little tricky to find because it's not particularly common. You know, like nether quartz is easy to find. It's all over the place. But over here, there is like a little hole. Also, somebody spawning with us, I think, in the nether. But it looks like somebody has kind of dug into the wall here at some point. And then like right here, I managed to find 2 pieces of this landium ore, which I'm hoping I can just break with the pickaxe I have, and hopefully will not fall into that piece of lava directly beneath me. Actually, just to make sure that I don't lose the only piece of landia that I found here, I am going to quickly break a little bit of the netherrack around me and just cover up some of this lava on the off chance that it does fall in there. There we go. Okay, so that should make this significantly easier for me to get. And I'm also kind of hoping that, much like with the draconium in the last stream, that maybe, just maybe, we can infinitely duplicate this using our pulverizer. Although I don't know if you can pulverize the... oh, it doesn't look like you can, unfortunately. It doesn't look like there's any kind of landium dust. Yeah, there's no pulverized version of it. So maybe it's not duplicatable. But just smelting this 2 landium ore here should get us 4 landium. We get 4 out of the gate. Oh, of course, because our processing upgrade doubles it, and our ore processing upgrade doubles it again. So we actually get 4 times the amount per piece of landium ore there. So that gets us 8 landium ingots. And we only need 2 to make the portal there, which is fantastic. We'll come back to this in just a second here. Finally, the last bit that we can make for now is black quartz, like so. Chestplate, leggings, and then those will be boots, and that will be the helmet. Okay, so boom, and then helmet, boom, and boots, boom. Nice. Okay, so that, I believe, chat, the black quartz armor set, I believe is the highest here that we can make with the resources we have at the moment. Like right now, we don't have what it takes to make the thorium because we don't have any thorium ingots. But thorium, being from Landcraft, the thorium ore is obtainable in the Landia dimension. To get to the Landia dimension, we need this Landia portal that we made just a moment ago. And if I'm not mistaken, the way that we activate the Landia portal, as it says in the tooltip there, is activated by killing an undead mob in the vicinity. So we just have to have this placed down, and then we have to kill a mob near it. Now, I did see, actually, a creeper on this platform over here just a minute ago. Is he still... No, he's not hanging around. There was a creeper here not moments ago. There is some markers there that could be lit up. Now, I wonder, chat, actually, will this work? 'Cause I'm thinking about how we could get a mob. And of course, we could break the spawner up in there and then try and get a mob out of it. I'm wondering if it's going to be worth us just going to the hunting dimension real quick, trying to grab a mob from there, bringing it back, and then using that as the ignition for the portal. I think that might work out quite nicely. You know, creepers are not undead. Is that a vanilla Minecraft thing? The whole undead? Does undead mean like zombie or creeper? I believe this does have to be 2 blocks above the ground, by the way, as well. So like, I would assume, based on that logic then, that creepers and the zombies and skeletons are undead, but spiders and creepers are not, maybe? Okay, do golden lassos, I think, do golden lassos work on hostile mobs, or do they only work on friendly mobs? They might only work on friendly mobs. Is that what the cursed lasso's for? Crafting table. I do really wish that you could craft golden lassos in the crafting terminal. That made our lives a little easier. What about Enderman? Oh, I did forget about Enderman, actually. I should also keep my... I'm going to put the armor in here just for now, just so I don't wear it, because I don't think we can upgrade it once we've worn it. Maybe we have to repair it first, but it's just gonna be easier not to wear it, especially because our steel armor that we already have is better. So let's quickly head on through into the hunting dimension and see if we can't grab some kind of undead creature. We do also, actually, now that I think about it, I'm just going to fly up real quick here. But one thing that we do need to do before we can get into Embers, you'll notice that Embers, none of the Embers quests here are accessible to us. The reason for that is that the first Embers quest, Ancient Codex, requires that we complete the mob farming quest, and the mob farming quest over here requires that we kill a skeleton and a creeper. Now, I do believe that we have upgraded our sword since we last were in here. The last time we were in here, it didn't go particularly well. And so hopefully, first things first, can I use this? No, I need a cursed lasso, and it needs to be on fewer hearts. Okay, this could be, okay, he's burning himself. That's fine. This could be an issue. Now, I was told, unfortunately, that the creepers in this dimension just always explode. So it's quite possible that we could kill a skeleton, but I don't know. And we can't kill a baby skeleton. It has to be a regular, fully grown skeleton. How much damage are we doing? We're doing a fair bit of damage. Is that enough to capture him? It is. Beautiful. Okay, let's see if we can kill a skeleton real quick before that creeper gets to us. That should be that part of the quest complete. It is. And then let's see if we can kill... Nope. Oh, okay. So I think we got to be fast when it comes to killing creepers. I really do wish we had killed one in the overworld. That would have probably made our lives a whole heck of a lot easier. But... No! Oh, that's so powerful as well. I knew that was coming. Oh my goodness. Need a bow, Isaac. Oh, that's a fantastic idea, actually. And we should still have a bow in our... Got to remember, I don't have the angel ring now. I've got to remember that so I don't try and jump off the edge here. Do I have my bow still from fighting the end dragon? We do. Okay, fantastic. Let me grab a bow. Let me grab some arrows. Let me grab some armor real quick so that we don't die the minute we go back. And let's go see if A, we can't get our stuff back, and B, if we can't kill a creeper. A bow makes so much more sense. I don't know why my first thought was, let's just try and kill it quickly. Like, they always explode, Isaac, no matter what happens. Let's just try and kill it really fast, shall we? Okay. The logic makes sense, right? Okay. Beautiful. We do have to re-equip our saturation totem, but that's fine. Okie dokie. Let's see if we can find a creeper. Are the creepers still gonna explode though? Like, what's the deal here? Oh no, it's dead. That was so much. Our bow is so much more powerful as well. Like, what the heck? If I can actually hit them, like, it's so much more powerful than the sword that we've got. Like, actually, so much more powerful. Like, these golems have got a lot of health. And they just get one shot with the bow. That's incredible. If I just do this and this. There we go. Beautiful. And now we've got a little beam coming down from the Landia portal. And so we should now be able to walk into that and activate it and go to the Landia dimension. Before we do that, I'm going to very quickly just dump some of my inventory here because we've got a lot of junk that we don't need to be carrying around on us. I should also make better use of our alchemical bag as well. For example, I think it makes sense to hold like one of each lasso in there, just in case we need it at some point in the future. The wand can probably go in there. I'm going to put a bow in here, just in case we need that in the future. And then it's probably not a terrible idea. I was going to say we could put an extra set of armor in there, but I don't really think that's necessary. All right, and I do want to make sure, before I do anything else, that I grab my torches back again, but also that I put my angel ring back on my bauble slot, so I don't lose that as well. All right, fantastic. Okay, now that we've recovered from that... unexpected death. If we go back into the quest book here, we can see under the Embers quest line, which is one of these, chat, I promise, it's under Gamma, we have now unlocked the first quest in Embers, which is the Ancient Codex. The Ancient Codex is not too difficult for us to make, and if we head on down to our Embers bore, hopefully we've got a decent number of shards. We do. We got 22 ember shards and 6 ember crystals, as well as 4 ember grit. This is essentially a fuel. I believe if you wanted to, you could pump that around into this chest and use it as a fuel for getting more ember shards in the future. We don't need to do that really. We've got the coal down there doing its work. And so now, if we come back up, we should be able to get started with the Embers quest line. I don't really think that we need the codex, but I will make it just to make life a little easier here. We actually didn't even need the shards to make this. It needs 2 archaic brick and 1 ancient motive core. I believe that we have a lot of these from killing the golems that spawn in our spawner, but the ancient codex is essentially just like your guide, your Lexica Britannia, your Thaumonomicon. It's your guide through the Embers mod. If you're not familiar with it, it's got a ton of stuff in it, and it's quite like a nicely laid out and interactive manual here with just a bunch of stuff. Again, we don't have to go through all of it in Project Ozone 3, but the stuff that we do need to go through, hopefully we can get through in today's stream. We can get rid of the ancient codex. Like I said, I don't think we're going to be needing it. The next thing that we need to do, we can actually complete a few of these quests right out of the gate here, because of course we've made the Camelite bricks. I believe we haven't done all of the stamps there. We can come back to that in just a second here. The Embers hammer, aka the Tinker's hammer, is not too difficult for us to make either. 2 sticks, 4 iron, and 1 lead, like so. That's going to be useful. It kind of acts as like a multi-purpose wrench when it comes to embers. And then right at the top here, there are a few items I don't necessarily think we need, like the fluid pipes and the item pipes. You don't need these specific pipes to work with embers. Any of the other item or fluid transfer pipes from other mods will work just fine. Dials could come in useful. We might end up making an ember dial at some point in today's stream. And then the ember atmospheric gauge is used to figure out which chunks in your world have more embers in them, like which chunks you're going to get more shards out of if you put your drill in those chunks. Again, we've already put our drill down, and I think for now our drill is in an okay position. I think it's going to do just fine. So the next thing that I think we probably want to make is maybe the ember activator. I said I didn't need this codex, but I'm going to look at it real quick. So I'm fairly certain that the ember activator is what allows us to make the power in embers. The ember activator is an igneous device. Let's just say igneous device, finally allowing you to extract usable energy from ember crystals and shards. Simply insert said crystals and shards into the bottom of the device using a hopper or other item transport method, and soon, marked by a fiery burst, the ember activator will appear with a copper cage atop the machine. Okay. So that's the ember activator. And then the quest after that, which is this one here, this copper capacity. So I believe the way this works is we make ember. Is that what it's called? We make ember power. I'm not quite sure if there's a specific word for it. Let me know, chat, if there is. But, oh, is it saying ingenious? I can't read. It does say ingenious, not igneous. That would be IGN, igneous. My bad. Ingenious. It's the flashing colors. You know, it goes from orange to red. You know, it makes it difficult to read. But anyway, let's see here. Do we have what it takes to make the ember activator? Ember activator. Let's see. It needs 6 copper ingots. Yeah, this is very easy, actually. It does require 2 iron plates, which we actually don't have just yet. Is there a way to automate plates later on? I guess we can automate it with Tinker's Construct. Oh, we can also do it with our compactor, of course. I completely forgot that we do have a compactor over here now. So we can just go ahead and throw that in there, and that's going to make us plates, and also automatically pump those plates back into the system for us, which is fantastic. So we'll take that. What else do we need here quest-wise? We need to make an ember emitter and an ember receptor. These are what we're going to use to transfer the ember power from the ember activator to other machines that require the ember power. So I've already forgotten the names. Emitter and receptor. The ember emitter, also not too bad, does require another one of those Camelite plates, which we already have. Make 4 at a time, which is quite nice. And then receptor is also not too bad. Go ahead and grab that. Beautiful. And so that should be that quest complete as well. Refined pressure wants us to make a pressure refiner, which I think we might need. But even if we don't need, I will make one real quick just so we can complete the quest. Again, not particularly difficult. Does require another furnace. So none of these recipes are too bad, which is quite nice. And then we also need, or can get, a copper cell, which I believe acts as a sort of energy cell for embers, storing all of the ember power. Like so. And then, what else do we have over here? We've got the melter, which I also don't think that we need. The melter allows you to melt ingots down into their liquid form. Right now, we can do that with the Tinker's Construct smelting that we already have downstairs. We can also do it with our magma crucible, which is probably how I'm going to do it, just because it's a little easier. But for the sake of completing the quest, and also because they are not too difficult to make, I will go ahead and make the melter as well. Again, I'm going to make a stack of furnaces real quick, because I think we got cobblestone automated and we need furnaces a lot, and we don't just need to keep crafting them. So that should be another quest complete. We're also going to get a nice amount of ROK for completing all of these quests, which is nice. We need a stamper, which we actually do need. The reservoir, I don't think we need. The mixing centrifuge we definitely need to make the Dawnstone, and then we also arguably need the Ash and the Alchemy Through Fire quest. Like, both of these do need to be created. So, stamper. Like so. We might need... Is the stamper a multi-block? I don't think it is. I think we need the stamper and the stamp base. I think we need both of those, if I'm not mistaken. So I will grab that as well real quick, even though that's not in the quest, although maybe it is. Oh, it is. Yeah, look at that. They are both in there. And then the mixer centrifuge. Don't worry if all of these items don't make sense just yet. Their uses will become apparent fairly soon here. Right now, I'm just crafting all of the stuff that we need, including a mechanical core into a mixer centrifuge, like so. And then finally, we can't actually go any further until we use the mixer centrifuge to make Dawnstone. All right, so chat, we have got a lot of junk in our inventory here. So let's head on down to the bottom layer. We don't have to do this down here. You can do this anywhere, but I'm just going to do it somewhere around here. Actually, I might go and put like another little floor in here just because there's not much space around the bottom there. Also, I should be using my elevators. Even though I've got creative flight, I think using the elevators is still going to be significantly faster. Let me just grab... Do I have any dark oak wood lying around? I don't. You know what? That's fine, actually. For now, we'll just use the space we've got. So, right down at the bottom, let us go ahead and start by putting down the Ember activator. So, this guy I'm going to put down for now right about there. Like so. Now, if I am not mistaken, we might actually need a hopper here or some kind of item transfer device. It is. Let's quickly set up a little bit of a platform, like right about here. That should be fine. It's going to make that a little like lower level, a little claustrophobic, but that's fine. So we'll do this. It's not a huge platform either, honestly, but should work. So for now, I'm going to move this further up again. Did I get that? I did. Nice. Okay, so Ember Activator. Let's go ahead and put this down for now right about there. And if we use a hopper, I believe we pump into the bottom of this, like so. And if we were to put some Ember Crystals into there, those Ember Crystals end up in the activator, and boom, we've got fire. This is making power. Fantastic. Now, if we were to use the copper cell, I believe the way this works is we use the receptor and the emitter. So the emitter goes on the top of the Ember activator, so up here, and the receptor can go, I think, anywhere, but I'm going to put it here on the copper cell. And then using the hammer to connect these up, we shift right click on the receptor, and then we right click on the emitter. And if done correctly, with a lever, as I was just about to say, chat, don't ever doubt that we do need a lever. Chat has pointed that out correctly. Everything in Embers needs a lever. So I will make a stack of levers real quick and head back down. A lever is required on the emitter. And there we go. It's sending out the Ember power around and into the copper cell. I don't know if we can open this. Take a look. We can't. But that's fine. This is now storing that Ember power, I believe. And this is actually where those gauges come in, which I'm actually going to make real quick, just so we can see how much Ember we have. Is that the name of the power source, chat? Is it called Ember from Embers? Is Ember the name of the power? What is it called? I think it's a dial. It is. We can make an Ember dial, which is not too bad. It does require a copper plate. Again, I'll use the pre-existing compactor machine that we have to make some more copper plates. Yeah, it is called Ember. Okay. It's a little confusing, but that's fine. So that gets us an Ember dial, so we can see how much Ember is being made by our activator. And so if we were to put it on, I think we can just place it on here. Yeah, so you can see right now, this I believe is how much Ember it has in it. If we take this off, I was a little worried I would break the activator there. If we take that off and we put it on here, we can see that this has 2,500 out of 24,000 Ember. So Ember is kind of like, Redstone Flux is kind of like the power of the Embers mod. And the copper cell here is used to store up to 24,000 Ember at any given time. Although I believe you can just hold it in here if you wanted to. Putting these Ember dials on lets you see what's going on inside that machine. Nice. So, as I mentioned before, you can then use the melter to generate the resources that you want. For example, if we want to make Dawnstone, I'm fairly certain that Dawnstone is made using copper and gold. So you can see in the melter, you can combine molten copper and molten gold, copper and gold, to make molten dawnstone. Now, you don't have to make the molten copper and the molten gold in the melter from Embers. You can do, but I think it's going to be significantly easier for us to make that in the magma crucible and then just pull it out and then maybe use buckets or maybe use tanks to move that to where we need it. Now, I'm not quite sure how much dawnstone we need, but then again, we've got a lot of gold and we've got a lot of copper. So if anything, we can just really make as many as we like. So I'll take a stack of both for the time being. Is it equal quantities? Let me check real quick. It is not. Oh no, it is 4 and 4. Okay, so it's equal quantities of both. That's fine. And then let's go ahead and quickly make a couple of tanks. We do have these tanks from open blocks, but I don't think they retain their quantities when dropped. I'm going to go ahead and make just like 2 thermal expansion tanks. These can hold up to 16 buckets and are not particularly expensive. So I'll take 2 of those. And then do we have our magma crucible? We do. Let's go ahead and for now throw this down. Can you do this? I'm assuming that doesn't work with the spectacle, right? Yeah, no, it's definitely not going to work, Isaac. For now, we will go ahead and throw this down just right about here. We can always find a new place for that at some point in the future. We do not have any more spectacles lying around. That is fine. It shouldn't be too difficult for us to whip up another one. Kaboom. So let's go to power. Beautiful. We'll just throw some copper in like that. And then if we put a portable tank down like that and make sure that output is all, like auto output is automatically on, which it is. I can't open this now though, which is a little worrying. Did I have the portable tank in my hand? I might have done. Anyway, real quick chat. Let me go ahead and make some upgrade kits. As always, they're not too difficult to make, and they do make our machines a nice bit faster, especially given that we're producing just so much power right now. It kind of makes no sense to not be using it where we can. I will quickly move my augments around, as I always do. Throw those in there. And so that's going to get us... Do these hold more than 16 buckets? I thought they held 16 buckets, but maybe not. Maybe they hold more than that. But that's fine. Once we have both of those up and running, we then need to set up our mixer centrifuge. That one right there. They all look kind of similar, all of the blocks. Took me a while there to figure that out, but we need to set up the mixer centrifuge. So, oh yeah, I do want to make sure that we get rid of the lack of light down here. That makes sense? Get rid of the lack of light? Sure. So the mixer centrifuge, for now, we will place down maybe like here. So I believe, again, with this, the way this works is we use the ember receiver or receptor to bring power in. I believe, again, top of the block, not the bottom. I believe the bottom is where we pump the liquids in, if I'm not mistaken. And then, again, we will throw down a lever on this guy, like so. And then using the hammer, shift right click on the receptor, right click on the emitter. That's going to connect up, and that's going to start sending power around with a pretty cool animation over to the mixer centrifuge. And then from here, we need to use some kind of fluid conduit or fluid pipe from any mod really to pump from the tanks into the mixer centrifuge, at which point it should begin, I think, making us some dawnstone, which we can then pull out and turn into ingots using the stamper and the stamper base. That's the plan, at least. So where is my crescent hammer? Go ahead and quickly pop that off and throw on another one, like so. Shouldn't take too long for that to finish breaking those down. This is now done. Fantastic. So we'll go ahead and pop that off as well. And so, chat, I think, if I am not mistaken, we should be about ready to get this going. So, again, if we head on down, all the way down, right down to our lowest level here, what we should be able to do is copper, gold. We're going to have one pump in to that side, and we're going to have one pump in to, I guess, this side here. We'll do that. I don't know if it matters necessarily which side you pump into, but we're going to do something like this and like this. We're going to have those both extract there, and then we are going to do the third one because we need to extract out of here and pump the remaining dawnstone into our stamper. Let me quickly consult the ancient codex just to make sure that I am indeed doing this correctly. Mixer centrifuge. While you've been using various metals to control the flow of ember before, through the mixer centrifuge, you believe you may be able to create new alloys. Each face of the bottom of the centrifuge is its own tank. When fluid is pumped into these tanks in a particular combination, and the top of the block of the centrifuge is given ember, a molten alloy will be created which can be pumped out of the top of the block. Or out of the top block. I see. Okie dokie. Let me go and grab some more fluid conduits real quick, or at the very least a new another servo, so we can actually pull the Dawnstone out of the top here. So we'll grab another servo, and then we can, I think, just put that straight over to the stamper. Now, in order for the stamper to work, I believe that we do have to get ourselves a bar stamp, and then while we're at it, we might as well get ourselves a plate stamp and a flat stamp. So let's have a look real quick. Stamp. To make the bar stamp, we need to smelt a raw bar stamp, which is made with 4 Camelite blend, like so. To make a normal stamp, just like that. And then what was the one I needed? Did I need a plate stamp? Is that what the quest wanted? It is. Okay, then we just smelt those up to get what we're after. Nice. So we get 2 of them because we got the doubling upgrade in our system. Don't need 2 of them whatsoever, but having 2 of them doesn't hurt, I guess. So, put the emitter on the other side of the tank. Let's have a look. That way they won't connect. Oh, I see what you mean. I mean, yeah, we could have pulled out here, but yeah, that does make a lot of sense, actually. We should pull out the front. So we'll get rid of this. We'll put that back down over on the back. So with Embers, you always want to connect. You always have to start with the receptor. So again, shift right click and right click. Power's going to move over. And then now we're going to pull out of the front, like so. And then it's got a bit of a janky setup, but then we need to connect to the actual stamper. So the stamper, I'm going to put maybe just here. No, that might have... Yeah, that's fine, actually. I'm going to put the stamper there. And there does need to be a block between the stamper base and the actual stamper itself, like so. And then we're going to pump from... I think I just put this, by the way, the bar into here, like that. And then we're going to pump that down into there. Want to make sure that this is disconnected because we don't want the Dawnstone being pumped back in. So we're going to disconnect that, and then we're going to put a servo there, set that to extract, and so that is going to pull out of there and into here. Actually, I'm not going to set that to extract just yet. I'm going to turn that off for a second. So we'll set this to extract. That's going to pull the copper out and into the centrifuge. We're then going to do the same over here. Set that to extract. Move that into a centrifuge. As the codex told us, that's going to pump both of those liquids into their own separate internal tanks. And then because we are providing the top here with ember power, aka just ember, that's going to go ahead and turn that into Dawnstone. It's essentially going to act like the Tinker Smeltery in making an alloy for us, and then from there we should be able to extract out the final product into here. That's going to fill up with Dawnstone, and then if we put another receptor, I don't know if you can connect up multiple receptors to one emitter. I'll try real quick, actually, for science. If we do this and that, I don't know if that's like just switched now to going from there to going to there. I think I might have just switched. But you can see it worked. And it popped out a little Dawnstone ingot for us. Nice. And it's going to keep doing that so long as it has enough ember power. And so long as it has enough molten Dawnstone to keep making ingots. Nice. It's got a pretty cool little animation to it as well. I like it. So that is the Dawnstone ingot complete. And then from there, we can make aspectus. We can make a bunch of different aspectuses. I don't know if we need these. Oh, we are definitely going to need these in a second, I think. But before we get to those, the next quest is to make ash with the cinder plinth. Let me go check the cinder plinth real quick, see if we got what it takes to make that. Cinder plinth. That requires some silver, some lead plates, block of camelite, and a furnace. Not particularly difficult to make. And then the final quest there wants us to make, once this is detected, wants us to make an alchemy pedestal, an exchange table, and a beam cannon. Okay, we are out of ember shards. Let me go quickly check on our setup at the bottom here. It's so far down, but let me go check on this, see if we've got any more shards. We do not. That's a little worrying. Why are you not spinning? You know what? Just to make my life easier, I'm just going to move this. This doesn't need to be here. We had a setup that worked right at the beginning, and I'm going to go back to that and see if that works again. That being this with the item conduits. So extract, always active. That's fine. Insert on green, extract on brown, always active, like that. And then insert on brown, like that. Okay, that's working again. I'm not quite sure why that wasn't working. It could have been an issue with the levers, causing a redstone signal to hit the ball. It could have been something else, I'm not quite sure, but that seems to be back online. And so in a minute here, we should get some more shards, which is good. There's all of our dawnstone that we can now go ahead and pick up, which is great. So we do need an alchemy pedestal, an exchange tablet, and exchange tablet. Do these require? These all require? We need a dawnstone plate. So maybe I should not be turning all of our dawnstone into ingots real quick here. Although, can I put this in my compactor to make plates? I totally can. Fantastic. That's going to make life a lot easier. All right, so let's see. Let me check the quest again real quick. I need an alchemy pedestal, an exchange tablet, and a beam cannon. So the exchange tablet is pretty easy, like so. Was it a cannon? No. Yeah, cannon with two ends. Cannon. The beam cannon, also not too difficult, but we are missing one ember crystal for it. And then finally the exchange tablet. Did I make the exchange tablet? I did. Not finally the exchange tablet. Finally, the alchemy pedestal. Do we have what it takes to make the alchemy pedestal? We do, because we got that one shard. Okay, cool. So we just need 2 more shards to make the exchange tablet. Part of me thinks we might need a second alchemical pedestal. The alchemy pedestal there. Might need a second one of those, but I'm not too sure. Have you looked at other recipes for getting ember shards? I don't think you can get ember shards in another way, but I will check real quick. We can use arcane bricks with a sluice? That's definitely not how you pronounce that, right? With this block? And archaic bricks? I guess you can craft ember shards, ember crystals from ember shards, which actually we have a plethora of. Is it easier to go with the magnetic crafts route for making ember shards? Slews. That's a bizarre spelling. But anyway, let's have a look. So if we go ahead and apparently we can craft our crystals like so. And that is going to get us what it takes to make the cannon, finally. Like so. So that's everything for the final quest there. And so again, I think this is going to be one of those times where we need to consult with our manual, aka the codex. So let us see here. First things first, we've got the ash generating machine, aka the cinder plinth. If I'm not mistaken, the cinder plinth, we are running out of space quite rapidly here. I'm going to expand out the platform just a little bit to give us some breathing room. Cinder plinth, like so. Now, if I'm not mistaken, the cinder plinth, I think, consumes cobblestone and turns it into ash. Although I will check in our book if I can find the cinder plinth. Probably not under brewing. Cinder plinth. The cinder plinth is a simple machine. Place any item into it, power with ember, and it will burn the item into black ash. It can automatically place the ash into a bin placed beneath it as well. Ash has several uses. It can be burned as a poor fuel item. It can be applied to stone to change the color and texture, and you believe the energies released in combustion may also have other applications. So it doesn't matter what item you pump into the top there, as long as it's an item. We're going to use probably cobblestone, just because cobblestone is super cheap and super easy to come by. Probably also a good idea if we want to make this a bit of a cleaner setup to use a bin from Embers as well. Not too sure on how expensive the bins are. They are exceptionally easy, is the answer. I'll make 2 just in case we need another one in today's episode. And then cobblestone, not too difficult. And then we also do need a hopper as well. Let's not forget that real quick. Boom. Nice. And I think that might be everything we need to make ash. And I believe that we use the ash to finally get to our glimmer crystal here. I think we're very close, chat, to having what we need here. So let's get rid of you. Let's go bin into cinder plinth. And then I don't know if the hopper goes directly on top or on the sides, but I'm going to put it... I don't think it matters. I also don't know if this needs power. Oh, it does. It did say in the book that it needs embers, right? Which makes sense. So, boom. And once again, I'm just going to connect it to there. I believe we are out of power, but that's fine. Do we have some more shards? We do. Just going to put those into here. Beautiful. That's going to connect to there. And then we should get ash in here. Nice. And that is being generated. Beautiful. Now, I believe we can also just pull directly out of here into a chest if we wanted to, which I think is what I'm going to do, just because, like, right-clicking on there to get the items out is a little bit tedious, and also it's not going to give us a good idea of how much we have. So let me quickly grab one of those chests that we made earlier. We'll throw that down just directly next to the item conduit. And then I think the final stage is actually using that ash to make the glimmer crystal. So when it says here 60 to 48, or 64 to 80, sorry, not 60 to 48. When it says here 64 to 80, I believe that is referring to the number of, the amount of ash required for this alchemical recipe. So we need somewhere between 68, 64, and 80 ash in order to get this to work. So let's set that to extract always active and insert. That's going to pull any ash out and stick it in there. We are going to need quite a few shards here. Is this still working away? It is. Beautiful. I don't know how much... Oh, this is coming on quite nice, actually. I don't know how much like power is required to keep this system going. The ember receptor, this is where more of these dials would come in handy. Yes, this is all out of ember right now. That's fine. I believe that this is where we put our items, right? So I believe if we're going to make the glimmer crystal, it's an alchemy recipe, the exchange tablet is where we put our items. So we need to put 2 gunpowder, 2 ember shards, and 1 nether quartz onto this exchange tablet. Then we have the pedestal here. Let me check the book again real quick. It is not under transmutation. It's under metallurgic constructs. We need to place a pedestal and strike it with a beam cannon. So... the beam cannon goes somewhere. Oh my goodness, So I think, chat, 64 ash. So if we check our recipe, it says 64 to 80 ash. So if I put 64 ash in here, that 64 ash is in the pedestal. If we go and get the items required for this real quick. So I'm going to head up. Hopefully that doesn't lose ash over time. I can't see why on earth it would. But we need 2 nether quartz. We need 2 gunpowder. And we need 2 ender shards. It might be 2 gunpowder, actually. 2 gunpowder, 1 nether quartz, and 2 ember shards. Okay. That's fine. The beam cannon needs to be on the same level as the table, the final table. No, it can be redirected. Ah! Is this too close? This seems way too close. I'm going to move this out by 1. Although, it might not be too close. But this looks like it might work better. So this, that's pointing at it, which fills me with joy. And so now, ember shards. I believe it said we do this on the sides. So, 1. Oh, I see. Okay. 1. Nope. I would like... Do I still... I would like to split these. 1, 2. And then gunpowder. 3 and 4. And then on the top, nether quartz. 5. And then I think we're good to go. I think that's everything that we need. Oh, we need the Dawnstone Aspectus. Of course. I knew I was missing something. I knew I'd seen this before. Plate stamp. And, okay, so we need to go back to the stamper. And then... molten dawnstone, ember shard, and a plate stamp. Okay. We've got molten dawnstone already in there. Can I craft these into shards? I can. So this might be okay. Can I put... I can. Again, did that take all of them or... No, it didn't. Okay, that's perfect. Let me go get my plate real quick here. My plate cast, that is. Or one of my plate casts. Okie dokie, chat. I think we're about there. So hopefully this is enough Dawnstone in here. If I do this, that's gonna... Ka-ching, we got a Dawnstone Aspectus. And so... I don't know how in the world this goes in. Ah. So we've got our ash in. We'll put a stack of cobblestone in there just in case we need more ash. Oh, the beam cannon needs ember energy. That makes sense, actually. Okay, I'm going to steal one of these receptors then. I'm going to throw that down on our beam cannon. Oh. And then shift right click. Right click. We do need more power. Maybe that works? Someone said, I think it might require 2,000 ember to activate. That sounds plausible. Let me check how much. Ah, okay, I see. That's fine. If we need 2,000, that's okay. We can fill that up. That shouldn't be too difficult. How are we doing on ember shards down here? We're doing just fine. I think that, chat, is what we need. And if there's one thing I do like about this mod, it's that it's got some really cool animations. Like, it does look, it's a bit, you know, difficult to set up, but it's a bit fiddly. But it's got some cool animations going on. Like, this looks really cool. Now, we didn't put a bin beneath this, so we do need to watch out. I think we need to be nearby to collect it, especially given that we're just hovering over the void. Okay, so we got back some alchemical waste that says Dawnstone inaccuracy 15. Now, I believe what that means is that the amount of ash you need is not guaranteed. So I believe that means that we're 15 off. We put in 64, so we either need 15 more or 15 less. 15 less than 64 would be 49, which is outside the range, so not correct. 15 more would be 79, which is in the range. So I believe that we need 79 ash to make this work. That's still in there, which pleases me greatly. We do need to put back these again, but we need 79 ash. We got 64, we're just missing cobblestone there. But I think, chat, this should be very much so doable. So let me go grab some more cobblestone real quick. We can use that cobblestone for our ember bore. Not ember bore, sorry, for our cinder plinth. Thought that, oh, I'd put the ash in. That's fine. We don't need the ash, I don't think. Just need to know that it's 15 off at any given time. Do need some more shards. Also, I don't know why I came back down. I need more gunpowder and more... just more gunpowder, actually. We already had the nether quartz. So 2 gunpowder is fine. Okie dokie. So I do need to split this up. So it wants to be... Again, I don't know if it matters which side these go on. I think boom and boom should be fine. And then, again, I need more shards here. So we'll do 1 and 2. Like that. And then if we get this back to 2,000, which is not at, but we can do with a few more ember shards. Is this working? It is. Okay, so we need 75? No, 79. It was 15 off from 64, which means we need 75. Now, my worry is that we can't, I don't want those in my shield slot, is that I don't know if we can put more than a stack of ash. We can't. So I think, chat, that we need another alchemy pedestal and another beam cannon, because I don't think that we can get more than 64 ash in here. So I think to get all of the 79 needed, we need 2 alchemical pedestals and 2 beam cannons firing into this, which shouldn't be too difficult. The most difficult thing is just be waiting for this to fill up with ember. But I think that's right. You only need 1 beam cannon. How do I use one? Do I just put like a second pedestal here? And the beam cannon pulls from both of them? So, after getting some wisdom from chat, I believe we can just put this down anywhere in the range. I'm going to put it just next to the first one. I believe we probably are going to need another one of these guys. If we've got 2, that's not what I want to do. If we've got, inventory's messing up a little bit. There we go, I'll take that right off because I don't need more than 1 of those. But I am assuming we're going to need another one of those in there like that. And then 15 ash in there like that. And then you are at 1,220. Let's throw in a few more ember shards. I don't know if it's worth crafting these into shards or not. Or just, I assume it's the same amount either way. But that should get us up to 2,000. Yeah, use your gosh darn better efficiency ember power generation. We do have the pressure refinery, which we could have used to generate ember. At this point, I don't think we need it. We could have used it to generate ember more efficiently than our ember activator and maybe go through less ember here. But now we've got 2,000 of this. We've got 64 in here, 15 in here. That's 79. Everything is set up correctly. I believe, chat, that we are good to go. And I think this is really all the embers that we kind of have to do. We might need more pieces for some big crafts later on, at which point we might come back. If we need a lot of shards or a lot of ash or something like that, we can always come back and automate these setups fairly easily. I don't think automating any of this is going to be too difficult. We can also set up the better power gen. But in terms of getting to the Twilight Forest, which is what we need to progress on into like Lordcraft and some of the other mods that we're going to need to get into Project E, I believe this will get us the Glimmer Crystal, and then from there, we can move on to some of the mods. We've done it. Oh my goodness. We got the freaking Glimmer Crystal. And so now, over in Lambda, we've completed this quest. We can claim a block of Symbol Crystal from Lordcraft. Nice. And if we very quickly set up a little pool of water, we should be able to make a portal to the Twilight Forest. So we need some form of saplings. We don't need saplings, actually. We could do with maybe flowers would probably be a better way of doing this. Do we have like some dandelion yellows? Yeah, I think those are going to make life a little easier. And then we'll take some water. We do need 2 buckets of water, but that's fine. And then let's also grab maybe some dirt, although I don't think it necessarily has to be dirt, but dirt kind of makes sense in this scenario. Where is my sink? I think my sink is right... Actually, I don't know where my sink is. Where do I have a sink, chat? I know I've got a sink somewhere. Where do I put my... Oh, it's here. Nice. Okay, so where do I want to put my Twilight Forest portal? That is a good question. We don't have a place set up for it. And we obviously we can move it. We could put it down and move it somewhere else, but really I don't want to have to make another Glimmer Crystal if we do decide to move it. And so I'm kind of thinking, chat, that I might just put it over here on this this floating island that we're not really using for much of anything right now. We can harvest these. They're not necessary. And then, yeah, I think for now, and maybe forever, I will place... Actually, let's use my bag real quick, because I'm getting way too full in the inventory region. But if we just go ahead and we do something like this, we are going to push that chicken off the edge. That's fine. And then, if I'm not mistaken, if memory serves me right, pool of water, surrounded by any kind of living item that you can plant. You can put saplings here, you can put poppies here, anything like that would work. And we throw it in the Glimmer Crystal. Boom! We get ourselves a portal to the Twilight Forest. And now we can move on to the next stage of the pack, because a lot of the stuff from Lordcraft does require the crystals. The crystals you can get from mining the crystal ore. So these crystals that we were just given as part of the quest reward, which I cannot see in my inventory, but I hear somewhere, I assure you. Maybe? Did I just put them away? Anyway, in order to get into Lordcraft, we need these symbol crystals from Lordcraft. And to get those symbol crystals, we need to do some mining here in the Twilight Forest. We can probably set up some kind of automated mining, maybe. Potentially using... The first thing that comes to mind is the builder, but I know the builder is from RF Tools, and RF Tools is locked a little bit behind some Lordcraft stuff, so it's kind of, you know, self-fulfilling there. But we might be able to use, like, the vertical digger, maybe, from Actual Editions might work in trying to find some Lord crystals, or we could just go mining and see about finding some ourselves. That could work as well. But I think, chat, that I'm going to go ahead and wrap up today for now. Like, we've got what we wanted to get done in today's stream done. We got ourselves an Ember setup. We got ourselves the Glimmer Crystal. Like I said, we could actually, real quick here, we didn't actually go through to the Landy dimension, which I'll show off real quick. There's another dimension that we can go to that's not necessarily similar to the Twilight Forest, but it's just another dimension that we can enter. And again, this is a dimension where we can find the ore required to upgrade our armor. I think it's Borium? I forget the name of it every single time. Let me check the quest book here. Thorium. Not Borium, Thorium. So here we can find Thorium. Again, it's a similar situation where we can go mine it manually, or we can maybe set up something like a vertical digger maybe to try and find it for us, so we can then go ahead and move on through the different pieces of armor. And I'm assuming there are also other ingots and ores that we're probably going to need from this dimension to move on with Lordcraft, because this dimension here is from Lordcraft. So we will try and figure that out in the next stream. But for now, guys, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up there for today.